Hello everyone and welcome to Team Culture, your favorite space for all things fashion. I'm Timothy and I'm so excited to have you here. Today I'll be taking you through the process of how to read the measuring tape as a pro. Without further ado, let's get started. I understand it's quite understandable that many of us do use our tape rolls and we have a way to go around this, but it is as well needful for us to know that we must know how to communicate effectively to our client, to our customers, and even at large to our students. Yes, let's start. We're all familiar with this tape roll, and as we see on this tape roll, 8 lines makes up an inch. What we have here, 8 lines make up an inch. I will not start with this because this particular aspect part is not visible, but let's start with this. So having said this is one already, let it be out of what we're dealing with now. Yes, we have this as 1/8, we have this as 2/8, we have this as 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and the 8/8 here makes it 1 that will be added to this, making 2. Now I said earlier on that we have 1/8 here, 2/8 here. Now all of these that I've mentioned earlier, the ones with numerators that are even number can be reduced to lowest. Now how do I mean? Your 2/4, you have 1/8 here, 2/8 here. Agree with me, believe me you, that 2/8 here can be reduced to 1/4, that is 1/4, and your 4/8 here can as well be reduced to 1/2. Likewise, 6/8 here can also be reduced to 3/4, and this is what we are familiar with, this is what we are conversant with, that is the 1/4, the 1/2, that is ½ inch, and also the 3/4, making next to the 1 inch. Now if that is the case, I would say, and I believe from experience, and I know that some of you here you can relate well, and if you can as well relate well, I would like you to drop comments in the comment section. I would like you to say your mind and relate well with what I'm about to say. Yes, there are times that you draft and you discover that in between the lines you just have to draft in between the line, though there is no visible line in between, but there are situations whereby you will have to draw in between the line. For instance, if you are dealing with an ankle of a customer which is 14 1/4 and you're dividing it by half, which will give you 7 1/8. So that 7 1/8, there is no how you will divide into 2. You will divide 7 1/8 into 2, that you will not end up marking in between the lines, and that is where I'm going, so as to be able to read within the inches that we have here. Now if we are, like I said earlier, we have 2/8 that can be reduced to 1/4, and we have 4/8 that can be reduced to 1/2, and we have 6/8 that can be reduced to 3/4. Yes, if that is the case, now mind you, if you are reading from here, you have 5 1/8, 5 2/8, and 5 3/8, and 5 4/8. Let's assume what we need to mark is in between 5 4/8, which is 5.5, and 5/8. Now in between these two, the moment, because the common denominator here is 8, now if you are switching in and you have to mark in between the 2 lines, that means you are already changing into another common denominator, which is 16. So if you are changing into another denominator, that means we'll be having 1 line in between, 1 line in between, 1 line in between, 1 line in between, in between here, in between here, in between here, and likewise in between. When you're marking in between the lines, that means you'll be having in between the lines here, instead of having 1/8 here, you will now have 1/16, 2/16, 3/16, 4/16, 5/16, 6/16, 7/16, 8/16, 9/16, 10/16, 11/16, 12/16, 13/16, 14/16, and you have 15/16, and lastly here you have your 16/16, which will give you as well 1. So that means if you are working in between the 2 here, now you have 5 1/4/8 here, which is also known as 5/5.5. 4/8, that is 5.5 here. So if we are marking in between here, the only thing you do is that your 4/8 will be changed into a common denominator of 16. And how do you change it into a common denominator of 16? We have, let's say you have 5/4/8. Now to change this, your fraction 4/8 into common denominator of 16, it will turn to your 4/8
will be whatsoever you are multiplying with this that will give you 16, a common denominator. You are multiplying with 2. That's 8 times 2, you have 16. And what you have here is what you have as 4 times 2, then you have 8 over 16. Now, that means back to what we are dealing with here. So the moment you get to your 5 whole number 4 over 8, you are no longer, because you are now working with the common denominator of 16, you are not going to be saying 5 whole number 4 over 8, but rather you'll be saying 5 whole number 8 over 16. And the next in between line will be 5 whole number 9 over 16. This will be 5 whole number 10 over 16, 5 whole number 11 over 16, 5 whole number 12 over 16, 5 whole number 13 over 16, 5 whole number, you have your 14 over 16, 5 whole number 15 over 16, and 5 whole number 16 over 16. Definitely will give you 16 over 16, that will have 1, and added to your 5 you have 6 inches. So situations like this, when you are dealing with your client, you will have to convert. If you are having, it is required of you to mark in between the lines. You should understand that you are switching to a common denominator of 16. You are no longer working with 8 but rather 16, and that will help you to communicate effectively to your client or to your student at large, so that they can easily understand, while you not be going to the stage of saying 5.5 and 1 in between the lines. No, there's nothing like in between the lines. You have to communicate mathematically to your students and even to the public at large, so that they can actually have it in an educated manner. And I think I've been able to take you through the journey on how to read the measuring tape. Any question can be dropped in the comment section, and as I will be giving responses promptly.
Do well to like, share and subscribe. See you later.